my name is Mr.T. It's P with Mr.T. Today we're going to be going over a couple of lacrosse skills. We're going to be going over the cradle and the ground ball. Now before we go over that, I'd like to kind of show you different types of lacrosse sticks for men's lacrosse. The one that I'm holding in my hand right now is called a short stick. The others are a goalie stick. Now this is the stick that I play with. I played goalie in college and throughout my entire career. So short stick, goalie stick, and last but not least, the long pole. This is a defensive stick, so the close defense will play this stick as well as an LSM long stick midi. The short stick is played by offensive players, including midfielders and attackmen, and the goalie stick is obviously played with by the goalie. Now, going over the cradle real quick, I'll show you what it looks like first. Now, one thing you're going to notice is I'm going to show you the skill with men's and women's. It's slightly different. I do not have a women's stick with me, unfortunately, so I'm going to just do the skill with a short stick and kind of give you the idea of what it looks like for both sports. Now, for men's, this is what it looks like. For women's, it would look something more like this. Now, a couple things that you want to be thinking about. There's similarities and there are differences in between each skill. You've got to keep in mind that for men's, you keep the stick kind of in between your head and shoulder the entire time, kind of protecting it from checks. You use your top hand to cradle, so you could do it completely without this hand. But you put your bottom hand at the bottom of the stick, that way you can go switch into a different pass or shot. The reason why you keep that there is so you can have a triple threat. Now, for women's, somewhat similar. Again, your top hand is your dominant hand. It's the one making all the movement. This one you use more of your arm as well as your wrist to cradle. Your bottom hand is again on the bottom of your stick. You'll notice that I moved my top hand down slightly, about halfway down the stick. Same concept, keeping it in front of your body so that you can avoid checks. It's a little bit different just because of the way women's lacrosse sticks work and how much more difficult they are to cradle with. It will help you maintain possession if you go across your body. Now, moving on to our next skill, we're going to be going over the ground ball. Alright, so I'm going to show you the ground ball now. Keep in mind, for women's and men's lacrosse, it is very, very similar. So I'm only going to go over it once because it's so similar that it's the same concept. I'm going to show you it first and then I'm going to talk about what I'm thinking about. Alright, so this is what it looks like. So there are a couple things that you want to be thinking about while you're doing this skill. First off, as you approach, whichever is your top hand, that foot is going to step next to the ball. So my right hand's my top hand, my right foot is going to step next to the ball, kind of in a lunge position. You're then going to get low, so you're going to bend your knees, kind of keeping your back up. You don't want to reach down like this. So you bend your knees, you get your knuckles down to the ground, so knuckles low, and then you scoop through. As you're coming up, you try to bring the ball to your head, just like in your cradling position. So you bring it back to your cradling position and you run away. Now, the reason why it's so important to run into space after you get a ground ball is that you're likely not the only person who's going after that ground ball at the same time. In men's lacrosse, you can get checked pretty hard if you stay in one spot, and you're most likely going to lose the ball again. Same applies for women's lacrosse. You probably will be checked and lose the ball if you stay in that one place. So it's really important to go and find space, look to make an outlet, so making that pass, or just running away all by yourself. Now, I'll show it to you one more time, just to make sure we all have all of those things down. This is what it looks like one last time. All right, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. This was PE with Mr. T, and have a good one.